New research from the National Citizen Service has found 40% of teens are influenced by fitness accounts and social media, with a third of boys feeling pressure to be muscly, and almost 50% of girls dieting by the age of 17.
People will come and see me and they'll feel dissatisfied, and if it's not overwhelmingly concerning, I have to have a conversation about how in today's world it's normal. Now that is a real shame, because it shouldn't be that way. But self-esteem in our young people today is not properly built up from a young age on characteristics other than looks.
Joining us to discuss the impact of social media on young people is Sue Atkins. Now, she's author of Parenting Made Easy, How to Raise Happy Children. I love that title. And child psychologist Dr. Amanda Gummer. Thank you both so much for joining us this afternoon. And taking a look at these figures, nearly half of girls that were asked in this tried to lose weight by the time they were 17. Boys looked at in this instance as well, a third of them want to make sure they've got more muscles, and 58% of young people saying they've got a negative impact when they're on social media, either they're jealous or feel insecure about themselves. I mean, Amanda, what would you say is going on here?
I think there's a lot of things going on. I think the messaging children are getting is confused, because they have messages around childhood obesity and how they should eat carefully. And then on the other hand, you've got the everybody should love their bodies and you should be accepting of yourself. And if you look on social media, there isn't coherent advice for children on this. And you've got the glamour models and the size zeros, but you've also got the sort of anti-face fake book, you know, the kind of being who you are and being realistic. But I think what is happening is that children aren't being given the tools to understand that somebody's digital life is very different from somebody's real life, and that you compare yourself in your real life to somebody on what you see on social media or in the media, in the wider media, and the two aren't comparable. And I think that's what needs to happen, is children need those tools from a much earlier age to help them evaluate what's going on, understand about media literacy, understand when people are trying to sort of portray things that aren't quite authentic.
So Sue, how do you then get that message across? We're talking about an area where you are judged on your looks, sad to say, and if you put down if you add a certain image, you're trying to get as many likes as possible. You're trying to get that affirmation that I did, and more people like you online. How can you tell a young person that actually this isn't real? This is something, focus on something else.
Well, it starts very early. I think as a mum and dad, you talk and teach your children about all sorts of things. That you're modelling things, whether your children notice or not. They are watching and hearing you speak about your body, about whether you're eating healthily, whether you're exercising. And it's about, I used to do some work for Dove around this whole area of self-esteem, and the idea that you have a model that you watch the video, she comes in looking pretty ordinary, you know, got spots and her hair is in a ponytail, and then they airbrush it and they show you how the eyebrows go up and the chin goes down. So you've got to talk and teach children to understand that actually people are spending ages on airbrushing. And also kids do this whole thing about the filter, don't they, on Instagram, and spend ages with this.
It's a nightmare. You can change the way you look, you can change your shape now, thanks to these filters. But how is it that young people aren't understanding this? I mean, look, to be honest, this isn't really anything new. When we were growing up, we had magazines, we had the same issue, music videos. In terms of pressures you get from outside, this isn't anything new. But do you feel it's more of a problem thanks to, say, social media and the filters that are introduced?
Yeah, because it goes out virally and it goes out quickly, and the superficiality of having a like. I mean, what is that about? It's about real bodies, real kids, and it's about health, isn't it? And balance. It's about knowing your body shape, exercising in terms of maybe, you know, going for a walk more rather than being very passive on computers and things. And so it's about having the bigger picture and helping children actually have inner confidence. And I bang on about teaching children to have inner confidence.
Amanda, what is going on in a child's mind when they are on social media? They're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and they see a photo of whatever it's a celebrity, Taylor Swift, for example, and they get that image in their head and they say, this is the ideal body, this is the image that I need to have in myself. That's going to be a huge challenge to be able to break that down, for mums and dads to be able to break that down.
Yeah, and I think it as you said, it starts very early, and I think you need to be building up children's self-esteem from a very early age. And one of the issues, when you say why is this a bigger issue now, it's because children are getting flooded with all those images from a much earlier age, where their brains aren't emotionally or socially developed enough to understand what's going on. If you show if you show a sort of 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old, and we know that children are on social media a lot younger than 13, then they've not got that, they're not developed enough to be able to critically sort of assess what's going on, and they understand that it's persuasive and advertising, which is why, you know, it's important that children are given those skills and given that advice earlier.
Yes, because they observe things, but they can't interpret them. They
Yeah.
haven't got the context and they haven't got the experience to actually make sense of them.
So I was going to say, social media is a 24-hour thing, so you don't just put your phone down, your laptop down, your tablet when you go upstairs. Kids are taking it upstairs into their bedrooms with them. So when mum and dad think they're, you know, fast asleep at 11:15, they're still up and they're still on.
Well, that's a
still on
parenting issue.
things.
So
Yeah.
parents do need to have boundaries,
Yes,
and you
they
do
do.
need to manage the play diet and ensure that children are getting screen-free time and that they're not constantly bombarded with stuff. Everybody needs some downtime.
And it's also, you know, talking and teaching children about that it's not just how they look. That's externally referenced rather than internally referenced, about knowing that you work hard, you're kind, you've got tenacity. Rewarding and praising and talking about those important issues, it moves it away from just how you look.
Oh gosh, we can talk to you all day about this. Is something that's not going to be dealt with overnight, but we've really got to start looking at this. Sue Atkins and Dr. Amanda Gummer, thank you both so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.